Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. So today's video is going to be a mixture of training and it's going to be giving you some useful tips on how you can get the most out of training alone. I make like a running joke that I train alone all the time, well most of the time, because I'm a lone wolf, because I like my own company, blah 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is sometimes it is hard, and I know a lot of you will struggle with the same feeling of like just being in the gym on your own. And not necessarily, well, I don't personally struggle with it because I use these tips that I'm going to talk about later in the video, but a lot of people and a lot of my clients say that they struggle training alone because they just don't have that motivation, they don't have that buzz that you get from training with a partner, or you don't have that ability to train as intensely because you don't have someone pushing you every session with you, pretty much. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video. There's going to be some training, so I'm going to take you through a leg day as well, but hope you enjoy it and I'll see you in the next clip.
For anyone who drinks coffee and likes the taste of coffee, this is honestly the best way to make your coffee. You can get an AeroPress for like 30 quid, and honestly, like, I've never gone back since. So I actually reversed the AeroPress, so you're actually meant to have it the other way with the filter on top, but I always found that I like my coffee quite strong, like the taste quite strong as well. So by reversing it, my friend told me how to do this, you can literally like let the coffee brew for as long as you want. So you just pour the water in the top, obviously the water and the coffee is mixing in there, and of course you want to stir it so all the coffee granules get mixed in with the water. And I literally brew it for normally around like 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, that's nothing, 4 minutes, and then I'll show you how I do it. I won't be able to do it with one hand, but you'll see. And this honestly makes the best coffee, so give it a go. Right, so this has been brewing for a while now, as you can see, looking lovely, looking beautiful. So yeah, looking forward to have that. Get it in the strong round mug, get strong. I'm not strong, but you get the message.
Nah, it is cold, you know. And the issue I have with my car, whoa, look at the zoom on the boy, is that my car freezes on the inside, which is less than ideal when obviously you're trying to de-ice it, but there's just loads of ice on the inside. So I don't really know how to go around that because it's got like its own eco-climate. Nonetheless, we're on the way to the gym. So on the cards today, I have legs. It's my hack squat rotation, so you'll see that. I'll probably try and do an edit or something, I don't know. It's really hard to do an edit when you're on your own. Problems with being a lone wolf, I guess. But nonetheless, hopefully I'll provide some value in this video. Otherwise it's just me training all the time, isn't it? But that is what I do. I train and I work, and that's literally my life. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you in a bit. Telling you now, this is the goat monster. It tastes way better than the white monster. Don't even try and tell me it doesn't. But I am going to get a pre-workout at some point. Just can't be out spending 40 quid on a bit of chemicals when all of the only real thing that actually works is caffeine and creatine, which I can take in different amounts and different sources. So just procrastinating outside the gym as you do. But yeah, time to go and get my head fucking screwed on for legs.
Hello. So I'll do another voiceover because the music is so loud in the gym. I'm just going to get it done for copyright. So let's walk you through this leg day. So I'll always start with about 5 minutes just to get my heart rate up because I am so cold at the moment. I don't know what your gyms are like, but mine's super cold. Doesn't have any heaters or anything, so you get on with it. My first exercise, as with all of my leg days, is a seated hamstring curl. The reason for this is we want to get our hamstring short before we kind of challenge any other muscles in our lower body, especially because from my physique analysis I need more hamstrings, and my ability to get the hamstring effectively short and in a good manner will diminish throughout the training program or throughout the kind of session. So that's why it's in first. I've actually progressed volume on this as well as weight, which is obviously volume itself, but I'm pushing 3 sets now at the start of my session. And yeah, really enjoying it and progressing the weight massively here. Next up, we had the hack squat, and you can tell I'm kind of in my last rotation or 2 before the deload now, because I really am struggling in terms of fatigue. This set did just feel slightly off. I don't know what it was about it, whether it's because of the increases in cardio that I've been doing or just that linear progression of weight at the moment, but I really did feel really heavy, felt really gritty, didn't feel good. You know, when the previous session it felt really good, but this session actually regressed by 1 rep. So I need to analyze that, reverse engineer it. Why is that? Is it because I increased my cardio this week? Potentially. Is it because I'm not eating enough? Potentially. Well, I know the body weight is going up, so I can pinpoint it back to cardio being high this week, and that's why my legs were still feeling it, I think. And then there's no way around that. Next up, we have a Watson leg press. I do like this leg press. It does feel quite heavy, but it has a good amount of adjustments and adjustability, so I can put the seat right back. The only problem is I do slide out a little bit, but I'm setting up for this leg press for maximum knee flexion. I'm really trying to hit the quads with this movement and not necessarily my hamstrings and glutes. Of course, your quads will always be the prime mover in this exercise just because of the way it's set up, but nonetheless, you can position your feet slightly differently to potentially bring in different muscles or favor different muscles. But this setup is mainly quad focused. I'm trying to get as much knee flexion as I can with a good range of motion while staying locked in. Again, this felt heavy. I did manage to retain numbers on this from last session, but I was still a bit pissed off from regressing on the hack squat. So I think that's why this set was quite good. But nonetheless, after this, we went to an adduction machine. So I have the Nautilus adductor. Absolute pain in the ass to get into, but once you're in it, really good. For this one, I like to have the seat kind of sat backwards, because I find if I sit upright, I very quickly kind of jam into hip flexion. It doesn't necessarily give me that much room to actually concentrate on the movement, because I'm always kind of a bit cramped up. Likewise, I don't know if any other guys get this problem, but never know what to do with my kind of male my male organs during this movement. As you can see, I kind of do frequently try and move them out of the way, or move them up and down, but it never seems to work, and it always seems to feel like I'm kind of crushing them in between my thighs, which is never a nice feeling, but nonetheless, great set here. Again, I'm doing 3 sets here because from the front I have no adductors and I need to grow them, and a dismount of piece. If anyone can tell me how to actually get out of the adductor machine, I'll be very grateful. There was a set of walking lunges, 1 set, but it didn't film because my camera fell off the bench. But that was with the 40 kilogram dumbbells. I only do 1 set here to complete failure, just to really tax glutes, hamstrings, and quads. Basically a full lower body movement and a bit of cardio, because it always does push your cardio quite aggressively. The reason I'm doing a unilateral kind of leg extension is because from my physique analysis, again, like one quad is way bigger than the other. And this is because of my knee rehabilitation when I was younger. My right leg is significantly better. So in all of my kind of abs and thigh shots, I would always put my right leg forward. But even in my front shots, my left leg is left developed. It has left muscle. So that is why I do my left leg first. And I stop my right leg at the same reps as my left leg achieved, and that way my right leg isn't necessarily progressing exponentially compared to my left. And likewise, by doing it unilaterally, I'm not allowing my imbalances to take over the movement, because what I would find, or even if it was subconsciously, or I might not even notice it at all, is that my right leg would do a majority of the work and take a majority of the intent. And by reducing that and by removing the ability to do that, both legs are working evenly, and I can really notice the difference in terms of the performance, which is sad, but It's something I need to work on, and I will work on it, and this is directly addressing the issue. Like I said, with all my training, like everything I do has a purpose. If your training doesn't, you need to think about why that is, and potentially look at changing it if you really want to change your physique. Next up, we have a lying hamstring curl. Not necessarily the biggest fan with this setup. I find like I cannot stay that stable throughout the movement. Ideally, I'd want someone kind of holding me down. But you can see that I'm trying to fidget around and get myself in the most stable possible position possible, but I never really find it. And it's a bit sad because it is a great movement, but nonetheless, like I did get somewhat of a contraction here, but arguably I'm not challenging the hamstring as much in the lengthened range as I should be. But for now, until I found a way to perfect this machine, I'm not sure on what brand it is, this set will do. And I did 3 sets here, with the last set being a higher volume set, but you're watching the top set here. So that's the voiceover section, and now let's get into how to optimize training alone.
Oh, look at that natural lighting, making me look quite tanned actually. Oh, peep the t-shirt matching the colour of the hat. Did I do that on purpose? Yes, I did. Oh, look at the mess as well. This is not good. Messy room, messy mind. Sack me. So I wanted to get to the main point of today's video, and that is about how you can improve training alone, okay? Because training alone is tough, and I found it tough when I first started, but now I absolutely love it and I thrive in it, okay? And the first thing you need to do when you do transition to training alone is absolutely nail your mindset, okay? If you don't have your mindset nailed and on point, you will very easily get distracted, not have that kind of get up and go, and you won't have that internal drive to push yourself every session. And this is something that will develop over time. This won't just happen, okay? Because like I said, like it is a different experience training alone. Like it's you versus you. And I've spoken before, like I don't necessarily like that phrase because it's not you versus you ever really. It's you versus everything else in the world. But nonetheless, in those sessions, you need to hold yourself accountable. And it's that mindset shift that right now it's athlete mode. Now it's time to get to work. Number 2 is, and my second tip is that you should nail your training environment. And this is, again, easier said than done. Some of us don't have the luxury of having like Ultraflex like on our doorstep, or really good gyms that care about their gym environment, care about the exercises that care about the equipment that they have. But I found this, and I've noticed the shift significantly. I find it a lot easier to progress when I'm in a good gym environment. I would progress no matter what, because I have progressed in commercial gyms like a Fitness First. But since moving to Exeter and training at Unit 7, I have found that as a gym environment is much better and more beneficial for me because everyone in there is somewhat moving towards the same goal. Training performance, fat loss, muscle gain, they're all kind of working hard. And what you need to do is find your gym environment that suits you. Like, if you're really struggling to train alone, probably a pure gym's not going to do it for you because there's going to be 400 other people there just texting in between sets. Do you know what I mean? You need to find the gym environment that matches what you want to achieve from your time in the gym. My third tip is to use music, okay? Like, everyone uses music, but use it wisely. And I would say, like, have a specific gym playlist. Well, I recommend having multiple gym playlists because I'm a bit of a loser. So I have different genres based on how I feel. And what you should do is rotate through them based on how you feel and where you are in your training program. If you feel like super motivated one day, whilst training alone, I wouldn't necessarily be hammering the most aggressive music that gets you super pumped up. Save that stuff for when you're feeling less motivated, less up for it, okay? Because that is one thing that we can use to actually provide like an external form of motivation. We've all got that one song that we can put on and we're like, right, now it's time to pick shit up. So save those. Don't necessarily use them every session, but yeah, rotate through them, use them wisely, and use music as your best friend. Basically, use music as your training partner. And my next tip is to create performance pressure. And this is like similar to the accountability I spoke about in the first point, but you should be tracking your training, regardless of what you're doing, fat loss, muscle gain, performance, obviously you'd be tracking your training, but you should be creating performance pressure on yourself. And this doesn't mean like the debilitating pressure where you like can't do anything else outside the day. But when it comes to training, you should be thinking, right, now the pressure is on to beat last week, or beat 2 weeks ago, or beat the version of my performance that happened a month ago. And what that will do, and what tracking your workouts and seeing what you did the week before will create that performance pressure that almost increases the intensity and the importance of that workout so that you can really nail it, okay? This is something I found since kind of transitioning, experimenting with like lower volume training. When you lower the volume, the performance pressure goes up. You have less chance to do the work. So you need to improve the accuracy and be as accurate as you can in the sets that you do. So track your workouts and create that performance pressure. And then 5 is have a purpose. Like, so many people go into the gym and just waddle about. Like, why are you actually here? What are you doing? Have a purpose, and everything that you should be doing whilst training alone should feed into that purpose. There's nothing worse than not having a purpose and training alone. That is a one-way ticket to having no motivation and not wanting to go to the gym at all. So there's 5 points. I hope they help. Like, they're the ones I've kind of identified in myself that helped me a lot when I first started out. I do like training alone. I think it removes all barriers to performance in terms of waiting around for people, changing exercises. I do train with people sporadically, so I'll train with clients, I'll train with friends, but I won't necessarily have a consistent training partner because I like the battle with myself. And I have built a level of discipline that allows me to nail training alone within a safe environment. So that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed the leg session. I hope you enjoyed these tips. If you did, let me know. If you think of any yourself, let me know in the comments below. You can check my latest videos up here. One's a boring fitness vlog, so I'll put that up there, and then the others are like full days of eating, so I'll put those up there as well. So don't forget, if you like this video, subscribe, give me a comment, give me a like. It really does help the channel grow. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Why do I always do that? As soon as a camera comes out, I'm like that, Victor. Who do I think I am? Like Winston Churchill? Ridiculous. Anyway, pointless chat that was, apart from the first bit. Other than that, have a great week, day, year, whatever you're doing, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.